Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as we recaptured $44,000. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, if you need a speedy exit plan, if civil war breaks out and total chaos reigns, get an El Salvador passport in 6 weeks. That's right. Also in today's show, BlackRock meets with the SEC and Nasdaq to discuss listing rules for their spot Bitcoin ETF. Also the same with Grayscale. We'll also be sharing spot Bitcoin ETF nailed on for 2024, according to this latest K33 report. Also, we'll be discussing spot Bitcoin ETF can usher in $30 trillion into the crypto market, according to the Grayscale CEO, Michael Sonnenschein. And speaking of ETFs, we'll also be sharing the latest from Michael Saylor. He says the spot Bitcoin ETF is the biggest Wall Street development in 30 years. Also be sharing the latest price predictions from the Giga Chad. We'll also be discussing Samson Mow. He is bullish. He believes the Bitcoin is likely to hit $1 million per coin in 2024, which is right around the corner. I'm going to be sharing Samson Mow's latest price predictions. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And welcome everyone. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. Massive shout out to everyone out there. David Plugs, what it do, man? Good afternoon, family. Good to see ya. What's good, Cryptolution says smash the likes. I appreciate that. It does help out tremendously with the algorithm. What up? Marvin, good to see you as well. Keith, what it do? Fido, let's go. What it do? Relaxing. Daniel Cormier in the building. Joe Folan, Will Stopson versus Guru. Santa Rally incoming, send it and let's get it. Will says the meme coins don't do well once they leave the coin swaps and actually liquidity. Joe says, let's say some big whales sell off enough and cause a retracement and then they sell off a bigger amount in order to do so. Chris in the building. What up, Skins? Welcome, family. Shout out to the entire Huddle gang and all the paid members of the channel. Perfect stream. Music to my ears. Lucian, thank you for that. Let's go. Shout out from Kennedy in Rochester, New York. Shout out New York to JV. We got another JV out here. Love it. I need I have a passport. Do I need a special El Salvador passport? That's a good question. I think you would just need a passport to enter El Salvador. As far as residency is concerned, reach out to Max Keiser because he's the one who shared the life hack. If you don't have $1 million to throw down, he says you can do it for $90 a year and you can actually become a resident of El Salvador. So check that out. What up, JB? I appreciate you tuning in as well. Loud as hell, clear as water. Be water, my friend. Rest in peace, Bruce Lee. I always get lag and miss the first few minutes. It's all good, dirty. At least you're here, broski. What up, Knoxville? Stress-free. VIP, let's get it. Let Bitcoin be your depression or stress healing. Apply for the orange pill, not Prozac. Amen. Well said. The Huddle King. Welcome, family. What up, JV? The market is up. We're up roughly $1,500. We already tapped 44.4, then corrected some, but we're still hovering above 43.8. So pretty lit day, to say the least. The entire crypto market is pumping. I personally love days like this. We're only 5 days away from Christmas, fam. Christmas is going to be on a Monday this year, and Christmas Eve is only 4 days out this Sunday. So I'm pretty ecstatic for that as well. I was referring to a possible sell-off for a tax harvest, says Joe, for purposes as I have seen it happen before. Okay, right on. It is the end of the year, so anything is possible. Is it that time of day already? Bakersfield in the building. Shout out Eric Castro. Yes, it is. It's 3 p.m. Eastern, so time to get lit. Friday ETF approval, it could happen at any moment. The deadline window is January 5th to the 10th, but now some analysts are saying it can happen this week. So let's find out, why is the market pumping the way it is? Maybe they know something we don't know. What are your thoughts? R. Herrera, let's go BTC. That's right. What up, Tangi? Welcome, family. What up, Fred Leck? Good to see ya. Friday ETF approval, anything is possible. There's no telling with no hair Gare, the chairman of the SEC. Finally bought my first Bitcoin hat like yours, JV, and loving it. Bitcoin to 45,000 by the weekend. Send it. Love to hear that, Pat Welch. Enjoy the new hat. And also, yeah, that'd be a pretty epic target. I actually asked that same question in the live poll. And yes, this is a live and interactive show, so be sure to answer that question. I say, when 45? Will it be within the next 24 hours? Within the next 48 hours? Will it be this week? or before the end of December? Let me know your thoughts. Now, the local high for the year thus far is just shy of 45. We tapped roughly 44,750 over on Coinbase just a few days ago. So it looks like Bitcoin's looking to retest that resistance. We flip that baby to support, then 50 G's, in my opinion, is the next logical target, which is the next major psychological resistance. Another pump party tonight. It looks to be that way. Unless we have a big pullback, we may have another pump party. If we can maintain above 44, we're going to have a pump party, because I have a feeling 45 is incoming, especially this holiday week coming up. But there is a chance, I was thinking, maybe a temporary retracement so I can load up more for a better price. I mean, that's wishful thinking, Joe, but you never know. We shall soon find out. Bitcoin has been pumping on the Wednesdays, hump day. That's right. Why not? Where can I read about Max Keiser? Follow him on X and check out his tweets. He's very active, but he did start posting a few weeks ago that there was a life hack. I actually covered it here in the show a couple of times, that if you didn't have the $1 million to get the residency over in El Salvador, there was a way to do it for $90 a year. So where there is a will, there is a way. Feel free to reach out to Max, because he's like an ambassador. His goal is to bring 10,000 people from the States to El Salvador, and I know he's well on track to reach that target. So he's looking to help you guys. So reach out to him. He'll help assist you any way he can. Shout out to Max Keiser. 45 in play. Send it. Let's get it. The Fibonacci says 45 for sure before tomorrow afternoon. I love it. I love me some Fibonacci as well. Get some sats. How many of you took advantage of the dip? Holla, let me know. Shout out to our moderators as well. Matthew, I appreciate you. Digital Dankness, Coinfather, Streamlabs, and everyone helping with the stream. Much love, much respect. Bitcoin or nothing, 50,000 sooner or later. Amen. Shout out to Sailing with Twins. I appreciate your support as well. Good to see you. Fried rice. I love it. Squirrel bait sub JV, in my opinion, without the ETF, will spike to 49.2 before the end of the year and close the year at 47.5. I love it. Let's go. Right on track. Bring it. Anyways, fam, without further ado, if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day. Just like this. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs, and we can do it with your support. Also, be sure to smash the like and hit the bell icon, because it helps out tremendously with that YouTube algorithm, gets more eyeballs on the stream and more eyeballs to the channel. And let's get this mofo lit like that Christmas tree you see right here on your screen. Today is pod episode number 1497. That's right. This Saturday will be episode 1500. Can you believe that? We've been going strong now for 5 freaking years, and we're just getting started. So yeah, I'm your host JV. Today is December 20th, 2023. Only 5 days away from Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and all that good stuff. But anyways, fam, let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. You should be able to see this up on your screen. We got Bitcoin currently sitting above 43,500, up just shy of 3% on the day. We already tapped 44 a little earlier and making a little correction after the pumpage. We also have Ether back in the green, hovering just under 2,200. Solana up another 8% on the daily, now trading above 80 bucks. AVAX up another 5%, trading at 42 bucks, while BNB, XRP, Cardano, and virtually all the major cryptos pumping in the green, with Blockstacks up a whopping 27%. Shout out to Blockstacks. And zooming out on the monthly to get a more wider perspective of where we've been for the past month, you can see Bitcoin is up now 16% on the month, Ether up 8%, Solana up 30%, Cardano up a whopping 52%, and AVAX straight killing it, up 84%. Good Lord. And this bull market is just getting started, so I can't wait. Anyways, fam, the crypto market cap is sitting at $1.64 trillion. The all-time high is roughly $3 trillion, and that was back in November of 2021. The current 24-hour volume is 65 billion, and the Bitcoin dominance is back on the rise at 52.6%, with the Ether dominance declining, the lowest we have seen it in a very long time, at 16.1%. Are we going to drop in the 15% range? Let me know your thoughts there, fam. Now, checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, Blockstacks leading the pack, up 27%. Wow. We have IOTX up 22%, and Near Protocol up just shy of 17%. Below that, we have Mina and Immutable, Say, and Celestia. Now, which altcoins are you most bullish on for this bull run? Please let me know, fam, in the comments right down below. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective. Good Lord, this is the daily we're looking at. Literally everything is killing the game. I'd say probably 80 out of the top 100 cryptos are pumping and in the green. And zooming out on the monthly, literally everything minus a handful like Hex and Cake and XDC are pumping and in the green. You got Bonk up over 300%, AVAX up almost 90%, HNT up over 300%, Injective 141%, ORDI 123%, SEI 153%, IMX 70%, just massive overall gains. Many of these alts up over 100% on the month. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, let's get a refresh just to make sure it's the latest data. Yep, we're currently rated a 74 greed. Yesterday, 73. Last week, 65. And last month, a 69 in greed. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us for this month peak in December? Let me know. Do you think we could realistically tap 50,000? Holla at your boy. Bitcoin hits 46 tonight. I hope you're right, David Plugs, because it's going to be one lit pump watch. Last time we did the 42,000 pump watch and we smashed right through 42. We had over 25,000 people on the stream. So I think we could hit 30,000 on the next stream if we can catch the pump. So I'm looking forward to it as well. Loving life, stacking and hodling and cold storage. Wishing I had more Bitcoin. Right on, Matthew. I feel you, big dog. Hey, JV, 'tis the season to be stacking. Fa la 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 la. Amen, Corona free. Well said. You know what I mean? Made a nice, what is that? Soup and salad and back again. Welcome back, relaxing. Enjoy that soup and salad, family. Living the best life. Love to hear that, Will. 47,000 tonight. Send it, Zamir. I hope you're right. That'd be pretty lit. I mean, it's time. We have been awaiting this for so long, right? We've already achieved 69. This is redemption. You know what I mean? The return of the dragon. I am long on that after the United Air Force started using their AI to train their pilots. Interesting, Ken. Now, well, it's going to 1 million next year. Why not 50,000 now? Well, there you go. That's a good, logical target for you. Just last week I was rooting, and now I am rooting for 44. Love that BTC. Yeah, Bitcoin will do that to you. Just note this: regardless of the fiat price action, one Bitcoin will always be equivalent to one Bitcoin. So 10 years ago, one Bitcoin was equivalent to one Bitcoin. 10 years from now, one Bitcoin will be equivalent to one Bitcoin. Let's not get lost and confused in the fiat Ponzi scheme price action, because we all know the fiat dollar is not going to last forever. They're going to replace that eventually with basically the digital CBDC version, central bank digital currency, and we'll say goodbye, and we're going to have a cashless society. And Bitcoin will become the antidote to the CBDC enslavement system. So Bitcoin, as they describe it, is the escape valve or the escape hatch out of the matrix. So if you're looking to unplug from the matrix, not be controlled by the tyrants that run this world, then Bitcoin is your answer. You know what I mean? Welcome, Matt. I appreciate that. Let's get it. Don't trade Bitcoin. Trade everything else for Bitcoin. Well said, heroic BTC. You're speaking my language. Sorry, long on THT, says Ken. It's all good, man. I wonder what the fees will be for a transaction when Bitcoin is 1 million. That's a good question. It'll probably be virtually free still on the Lightning Network. Layer 1. That's a great question. We shall soon find out. You know what I mean? Just all good food, man. Enjoy that food. Well, welcome, Josh Runge. I appreciate you. Rocket ship to the moon. Let's get it. I'm sipping on my kombucha today as well. So if you hear a sporadic burp, now you know why. It's the bubbles. Yeah, Samson Mow smoking the bong. The hopium bong. You gotta love the hopium bong. We take hits from that bad boy every day here on the show, so you already know. Welcome, Nestor. Rose to the moon. Holla, fam. Appreciate ya. Bonk, welcome as well. Giant bullish M pattern on the 1 minute chart. Love to hear that. Howdy from 707. Welcome, TJ. Welcome, Casey. I am going long on HRT. Do what it do. What up, Kepler? I think Bitcoin and CBDC will work together. Laura, it'll surprise everybody, I swear. CNA, what's good? Welcome, Overkill. Mark Anthony in the building. Most negative sentiment for ETH in a long time. Time to sell. That infinite supply is ish for the king. Amen. That's right. If you look on CoinMarketCap right now and you look at the maximum supply of Ethereum, the #2 crypto in the world by market cap, it shows you infinite sign, meaning there is no max supply. They can just keep printing like the US dollar. You know what I mean? But anyways, family, let's now kick it off with our Bitcoin technical analysis, aka astrology for men. Check out the charts and what is cracking with the Bitcoin price action. Bitcoin sought to overcome the weekly range resistance today, December 20th. Oops, and I accidentally just clicked on something. As the Bitcoin price strength battled altcoins for supremacy. Let's go. And here you're looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView followed Bitcoin as it neared 44.9 after the Wall Street Open. After dropping to near 40,000 to start the week, Bitcoin staged a comeback to cause traders to reconsider the likelihood of steeper downside. And commenting on the market trend, we had Credible Crypto, who shared the following. Another reason why I think there is a decent chance that our local bottom on Bitcoin may be in, and we may not get that 40,000 sweep I discussed earlier, is because Ethereum has hit the downside target I spoke about in my last video update. If the bottom is in on ETH, then it's probably in on Bitcoin as well. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment from Credible Crypto. And estimating where that continuation could end up in the short term, we have another analyst, Matthew Hyland, eyeing a new 2023 high above 46,000, quoting him here, Bitcoin now at the top of the range of the double bottom reversal. The price target, if breakout confirms, would be around 46.3. Would need to break resistance at the annual highs from earlier this month as well, which is just shy of 45,000, meaning the local high for the year and for the past 20 months for Bitcoin is roughly $44,750. Now, this chart highlights a double bottom pattern constructing involving 40,000 support in place over December, as you can see here on your screen. Now, fellow trader Jelly likewise agreed that Bitcoin looked eager to break out, describing the support retest as a shallow pullback. Quoting the analyst here, Bitcoin is breaking out. Can it make its way to 48,000? Oh, hell yes, it can. Just saying. Now, the current local high, which marks Bitcoin's highest level since April of 2022, stands at roughly 44,729 on Bitstamp. Bitcoin, meanwhile, recovered, lost market share when its market dominance, 53.8%, up 0.8% versus the start of the week, as the Ethereum dominance is going in the opposite direction, heading south. Now, the biggest news since the white paper, let's discuss it, in the ongoing debate over the imminent decision on the US SEC's decision for the ETF, Exchange Traded Fund, which is the focus of today's show. Every story today is focused around this ETF approval because we know it's incoming around the corner. So on the day, it's well-known investor Freddy Krueger, keeping hopes alive, seeking to explain the muted market, front-running of an ETF. Go ahead, quoting him here. If you work at the ETF desk at BlackRock, you have been given strict orders not to mess up with Saylor calls the most significant financial markets product in 30 years. The last thing you do is buy GBTC, MSTR, or some competing product. The last thing you do is buy actual Bitcoin and deposit it into your dedicated ETF Coinbase custody account. So he argues that the political events in the US could be contributing to the market's cold feet, despite the ETF approval constituting the biggest news in Bitcoin since the white paper. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment that this is the biggest news. And as Max Kaiser shared a little earlier today, if you need a speedy exit plan, if civil war breaks out and total chaos reigns, get a El Salvador passport in as little as 6 weeks. And if you're interested in relocating, reach out to Max. He is responsive. He's actually trying to help as many people relocate to El Salvador as possible. You know what I mean? He also recently tweeted, El Salvador and the US are two ships passing each other. El Salvador is heading towards being the global standard for freedom and democracy. The US is heading in the opposite direction towards despotism. Agreed with that. And quoting Nayib Bukele, very powerful quote here, the United States has lost its ability to lecture any other country about democracy. Preach. Very well said. Shout out to Nayib Bukele and the beautiful people of El Salvador. Back to the comments. What it do? Yes, I did watch UFC 297. I watch all the UFC events like for the past 10 years. I'm a huge fan. If you don't know, now you know. To the moon. That's right. Fredo NYC, send it. Constitutional Stacker. Let's get it. I appreciate those likes, family. It means a lot. You know what I mean? Mike Meyer versus Freddy Krueger, right? Well, let's hope so. Put a grand in Bitcoin and 500 in ETH in the last 4 days, says Constitutional Stacker. We're wishing you much success on that position. We now have over 420 people on the stream right now, so happy 420 as we take hits from that hopium bong. Let's get it. Nestor, Bitcoin is down and live. We are live, but I wouldn't say about down. We're up still 1,400 on the day. Expect more volatility. Volatility equals life force family, so just note that. Crypto Surge, welcome family. Welcome Keith. Welcome Baller Bill. Good to see the fam. Hi JV, says Bubba Fru. Hope you're doing well. 55,000 by the end of the year. Send it. Please say hey to my daughter Zena, Zoe, Zane, and Zerl. Zoe's birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday, Zoe, and shout out to you and your entire family, all your siblings, and many blessings. Sup, Ninja? What it do? Consultation Republic says dirty. Likes matter. I have a channel much smaller than yours, but likes do matter. 100%. The more likes we get, the more eyeballs will be able to see the stream and ultimately get on here so we can help usher in this mass Bitcoin adoption. I've been doing the damn thing now for 5 years. I created my channel back in 2018 when I relocated from Florida to Puerto Rico, and I've been doing daily content ever since, which eventually mutated into the daily podcast, the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. So I appreciate each and every one of your support. Crypto news alerts in full force. Smash that like and sub if you haven't. Greatly appreciate it. Constitutional Stacker says, why not? Well, I appreciate the super family. It also helps out with the algorithm because YouTube loves making money as they collect 30% of that $2 you just sent me. So keep it coming. I appreciate it. What up, Mr. Perez? Smash those likes. I appreciate it. What up, Quavis? Appreciate you tuning in as well. 44,000 won't last long. Get some before it's too late. That's right. We're going to be in the 50, 60,000 range before you know it. It's right around the corner, and you'll never see sub 40,000 ever again. So seize the moment. If you have dry powder on the sidelines, take advantage of it while you still can. Bo needs to fight. He's in his prime and can beat any middleweight at this point. You talking about Bo Nichols, the wrestler? Yeah, he's pretty lit. He seems unstoppable with that wrestling. It's pretty incredible, remarkable, I would say. But I'd love to see him against like the top people in the division. So we'll see how that works out. Volkanowski. Shout out to Volk. Yeah, Google sucks, bro. I prefer Rumble, but it's a slow go. Completely understand, family. CNA is the second best community on the coin market cap. JV, you're the king. Well, I appreciate that, family. Much love, much respect. And again, thank you, Constitutional Stacker, for your contribution. You guys are amazing. All-time highs before you know it. Send it. Let's get it. Mark Anthony, for those wanting another drop, we're getting an ETF approval within weeks. Precisely my sentiment, so don't hold your breath, right? It'll be so sweet to see my stack again when I left in 2021. Amen. Y'all beloved trash coin flash dumping. My crypto account went down a couple of thousand within a couple of hours. Sorry to hear that, Tony. Which altcoins are you gambling on? Plan B already calling for 100,000 Bitcoin likely within a few days of the ETF approval. Samson Mow says we can hit 1 million within a few days of the ETF approval. We'll see who is right. I can't wait personally, but we still have so much to cover. And like I said, everything's evolving around the ETF news today because there's so much ETF news in crypto. So let's discuss the latest with BlackRock, who just met up with the SEC yet again. And I just saw breaking news before I went live that Grayscale just met with the SEC as well. And this is probably the 5th meeting between BlackRock and the SEC over the past couple of weeks. So here we go. BlackRock, the Nasdaq, and the US SEC met for a second time in December to discuss its app for the spot Bitcoin ETF. Here's the memorandum. And according to the SEC memo, representatives from the 3 organizations discussed the necessary rule changes required to list the spot Bitcoin ETF. Here's what the SEC had to share. The discussion concerned the Nasdaq stock market's proposed rule change to list and trade shares of the iShares Bitcoin Trust under Nasdaq Rule 5711D. The Nasdaq 5711D discussed during the meeting provides the requirements for the initial and continued listing of the commodities-based trust share on the Nasdaq. The rule establishes regulatory guidelines and specific criteria for the listing, including compliance measures and surveillance mechanisms designed to ensure market integrity and protect users against fraud. This was not the first instance where rules regarding a listing spot Bitcoin ETF on the exchanges were discussed. Back on November 20th, exactly a month ago from today, BlackRock and the Nasdaq met with the SEC to discuss a proposed rule for allowing the spot Bitcoin ETF to be listed. BlackRock shared a presentation detailing how the company could use an in-kind or in-cash redemption model for their iShares Bitcoin trust. And it looks like they chose the in-cash model as of what I reported yesterday on the show. Now, on December 14th, the SEC held another round of discussions with asset managers proposing a spot Bitcoin ETF. Officials from the SEC chair, Gary Gensler's office, attended the meeting to discuss the proposed rule change allowing major exchanges to list the ETF. So there you have it. Definitely a good sign and a good omen when you have ongoing conversations back and forth entertaining the listing and approval of the ETF. See, prior to a couple of months ago, there was none of this talk. There were no meetings, and they weren't even entertaining the idea. Mr. Gary Gensler, aka No Hair Gare, just wanted to continue kicking the can down the road. Now they have all this regulatory pressure from Congress. Gary was told you need to approve the spot Bitcoin ETF and ETPs immediately. So how much longer will he be able to push it back for? Hopefully not much longer. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the top ETF analysts in the world from Bloomberg, James Seyfarth, Eric Balchunas. They're still giving it a 90% probability that the spot Bitcoin ETF be approved in January, just a couple of weeks around the corner. Let me know your thoughts, family, and I'll read as many of your comments out loud as I can. What up, Matthew? Next time we hit 44,000, I think we run up to 45. Well, let's go. Let's capture that on our pump watch this evening. It'd be pretty lit. No Hair Gare or No Claire Gare. Yeah, same individual, Jesse Oro. You already know. Boy, is getting hot. Yes, indeedish. What up, Stephen Farrell? Nah, bro, we going to retest 42. I don't know about all that. We shall soon see. It seems every dip is becoming more and more short-lived, right? So we have a correction within 24 hours, bada boom, bada bing, we're right back where we left off. So I don't know. The bears seem to be struggling right now. Seems they're hibernating or dead. Tired of all the hype. Wears me out. When it comes, it will come. Amen, Fred. But why can't we talk about it? Hype is good, AKA hits from the Hopi Pong. You know what I mean? We're speaking it into existence right now. How about that? We call this Bitcoin alchemy. We're the alchemists. You know what I mean? Who has the best ETF ticker? Wow, that's actually a good question. What's his name? Was it Bitwise? Someone has HODL. I think that's a pretty damn good ticker. I don't think it's going to get better than that. So whoever has HODL has the best ticker. I don't remember if it was Bitwise, but one of them has HODL. So we shall soon see. From India, waiting for 50 G's, baby. Welcome, Shreeman. I appreciate you tuning in from India, family. You know what I mean? Bears lost this battle. It's going to Mars. We might go to Pluto. By the weekend, we above 45,000. Solid. Yeah, right in time for the holidays. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas. You want to give us a Merry Christmas, Satoshi? 50 G's by Xmas. Let's go. The bears will be smoked. We smoke the bears. Smokey the bear. Question, what happens when Coinbase wins the case? More bullishness. Oh, you bet your bottom dollar. And if you're waiting on the sidelines like everyone else and we start pumping like crazy, more than likely the exchanges go down. Like without fail, like every time we have a major pump and hit a new all-time high, it's very difficult to even buy Bitcoin. So keep that in mind as well, family. Expecting some political shake in these states in these next coming weeks. That's right, we have a big 2024 presidential election around the corner as well. And there's a lot of politics heating up right now in the markets. I think the rocket will launch after Xmas this week, maybe to 40 or 42, says Sadat. My Bitcoin was lost in a skiing accident this week. Gosh darn it. It happens to the best of us, big dog. Oh, that was Jennifer. Yeah, it happens to us. Debating on what kind of car to get after it sends it. I'm thinking of a new Supra. Well, I can't wait to see your new Supra, Phil D's. You know what I mean? S dot to the firmament. Precisely. Smart man. Burr is the best ticker. Right on, Matt. Who has the Burr ticker? Money printer. I gotcha. Was Qatar just a rumor? Well, they could be purchasing Bitcoin behind the scenes. They're not going to come out and announce it because I think they much rather convert their sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin without it being 100 or 200,000 per coin. So you have to keep that in mind, family. My dog ate my keys, says Jesse Oro. That's right. That was Bitwise. Right on. And they also just recently launched the new ETF commercial. Did you guys see that? Let me know. Mark Brunell, bro, I think it was Van Eck with the HODL ticker. Love it. That's right. I think it was Van Eck. So shout out Van Eck. Very smart. Very good marketing as well, because now we're always talking about the HODL ticker for the ETF. 2024 will experience exponential adoption. Amen, Eric. It's a coming. We didn't have the institutional FOMO previous cycle. That's what sets this baby apart. Imagine waking up to 100,000 Bitcoin next month after the ETF approval. Yes, please. I already visualize that every day. And I visualize our 100K Fiesta party here in Puerto Rico. You're all invited to. Make sure you're in our Discord for more info. Discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Heroic. Yes, so I can. Who can afford to be bearish right now, right? Shout out Barack. Monfils just gifted a MicroStrategy paid membership of the channel. Looks like Keith Hunt, you have been blessed. So thank Barack for the free gift. You're now an official member of the channel, and you have that cool icon next to your name. So you get recognition. Much love, much love. How many Bitcoin do you have? I lost it all in a boating accident. I hold absolutely zero. Yep, it sucks, but it happens. I visualize a million, says Novum. Amen. Do you expect Cardano to do well this cycle? I think a rising tide rises all ships, so more than likely every crypto will do well. Granted, it's not a Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi scheme tokens like the BitConnects clearly won't do well. However, like I mentioned, if it has a legitimate use case and it has a strong community, even the meme coins are clearly going to moon this cycle. I do believe that. Bodhi, you wish, says Mayan. Right on. Let's go. Where are my orange pill moon boys out? Shout out Charles Hoskinson. I'm making fun of him. Leave it for 5 years and come back and done. Amen. Inertia. That's well said. Market is down 350 points. Where up, says Abel Gonzalez. What market are we talking about? Well, Bitcoin is up at least. Bitcoin's up $1,500 on the daily, 3.5%, not too shabby. We already tapped 44, and I think we're looking to retest, so we shall soon see. Corey in the building. What up, JV? Bitcoin price is up. We got to get a potluck channel going for the Discord for the 100,000 party at JV's Pizzak. Right on, guys. When did you get into crypto? For me, it was 2017. So this is my 6th year. Wow, it's going to be 7 years next year. Good Lord. And so my first year getting into crypto, I bought Bitcoin at 1,500. And by the end of the year, it was almost 20,000. It was around this time. It was Christmas season, I remember. How many of you were around for that cycle? Let me know. Institutional investors do not FOMO. They twop. It is going to be time to be bearish. What are you referring to there, Jennifer? What time we talking about? Oh, the New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, screw the traditional markets. We're in the crypto market, the only market that never sleeps. And with that being shared, we're going to talk more about these ETFs here. Welcome everyone just joining us. Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all those beautiful things we get to celebrate this week, this time of season. So, hope you all have very blessed Christmas this year coming up. So with that being shared, we shared the latest with BlackRock. Now for the latest with this report coming from K33. Here we go. The approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF by January 10th appears to be set in stone. Yeah, bring it. With a new spate of ETF updates, only adding further to the likelihood of the approval, says the K33 research analyst in a December 19th report just yesterday. Their head of research, Anders Helst, and senior analyst Vettel Lunde said the recent round of ETF updates with filers, including BlackRock and ARK Invest, are now agreeing to the cash creation setup for their funds. It means that an approval is nailed on for January. Let me know if you agree with that. Additionally, the report highlighted the strength of the Bitcoin price action over the past week, with analysts noting that the spot trading volumes of Bitcoin have been substantially higher than the previous months. Quoting the report here, this is indicative of Bitcoin's strong rally, attracting new buyers while also motivating profit taking by sellers, leading prices to consolidate on elevated trading volume. So despite the strength of the Bitcoin spot volumes, the report notes that open interest on Bitcoin perpetual contracts had fallen to new yearly lows, which shows no signs of retail froth, so more bullishness. And alternatively, institutional investors on the CME only increased their appetite for Bitcoin-related risks, with the CME open interest growing by 3,100 BTC just in the past week, as you can see here on your screen. However, the analyst stated that this was unlikely to be maintained following the approval. So when when the spot ETFs are finally approved. The analysts predict a significant rotation out of the futures-based ETFs onto the CME. And in addition, active traders will probably realize profits on their current long positions. So in combination, this creates the setup for reduced CME dominance ahead. Now, altcoin season could be good for Bitcoin, according to the report. The report draws attention to several pockets of euphoria in altcoins such as Solana, Ordinals, and Bonk, which have gained 22%, 114%, and 338% respectively in the past 20 days. Sounds like alt season is already here. Those are pretty wild gains. And while many market commentators often attribute this type of manic market performance as a sign that the market's nearing the top, analysts explain this could be a benefit for the King Crypto, quoting them here, the altcoin fiesta, hey, I like that, takes the burden of froth, leaving boring old Bitcoin less exposed to liquidation cascades. And in that sense, altcoins serve as a positive pressure valve for thrill seekers, allowing healthier leverage conditions into BTC. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know your thoughts on this likelihood of an ETF by January 10th. And let's read some more of the comments. JV, I made it to your live. Much love, little freestyle. I appreciate that. Bonk says, I'm curious how many of you actually celebrate Kwanzaa. That is a great question. How many of you do? Let me know. I don't want to leave anyone out. Catching the stream from Huntington Beach, California. Let's go. Shout out to Cali. The market's down because the Bitcoin ETF was not approved, says Channel. Right on. The halving is for the super cycle people they have been talking about for years, says Corey. Bought 4.5 Bitcoin in early 2017. Way to go, WCB. And sold at 8. Oh no. Made some other mistakes. Can't go back in time to smack my younger self. Been prepping since 2021 to hopefully have some real success finally. Yeah, you got to hodl for the long haul. This is a lifetime play, family. Never make that same mistake twice, but at least we get to learn from your mistake. So thanks for sharing. If I can get a 10x, I can literally retire. This is such an impactful time of my life. Well, 10x Bitcoin this cycle, send it. I do believe we can 10x. 10x would take us to $430,000 per coin. It's absolutely probable. So let's keep the hope alive. Hackstack, I wish there were exposed to Bitcoin back in the day. Only learned about it 4 years ago. Probably what people will say in another 4 years. Exactly. Spread the good news, team. Well said. Nothing beats watching this live stream while I'm on the clock. Love it, Eric. You should get paid to watch Crypto News Alerts. That's how life should be. So more respect to you. Go to school, get a job, pay off debt, climb the ladder, vacation for 2 weeks, pay off the mortgage, die. F that ish. We are getting out of that rat race, fam. Amen. Because Bitcoin is the escape valve out of the rat race, right? It's how to unplug from this corrupted matrix we want no part of. Should I sell something now and buy on the next pullback? Asks Martine. I don't know what you're referring to selling. If you have dry capital, powder sitting around, such as fiat trash, cash, any of that crap in the bank, get rid of it and put it into Bitcoin and thank me in 4 years and check back with me. We'll see how it did. Does Bitcoin pump to 48,000? I think it's coming. Thanks, JV. Love to hear it. You're welcome, Jesse. Earl says, Kwanzaa, I am black and never met someone who celebrates it. Maybe in different countries. Maybe it's not popular to celebrate in the US. I don't know. Bitcoin is king and JV is Moses trying to save us all. Can I part the Red Sea? I can part the podcast. You can't save everyone, JV. That's right. You can lead a horse to water. You can't force them to drink. There's something called free will. Even the elite respect your free will. You know what I mean? Free will is very real, and we all have the free will to choose what we decide. And hopefully it's not the blind leading the blind, because that's typically what happens in this world. Value deal. Get a clue. Bitcoin is the apex asset. Amen. The apex predator. I am not a slave. Bitcoin will set me free. Amen, Casey Gates. Bitcoin is just that. It equals sovereignty and freedom, and it perpetuates freedom, sovereignty, peace, love, and all the good things that come along with it. Whereas fiat currency perpetuates war, violence, criminals, Wall Street, politicians, central banking cartels, etc. You know what I mean? It's going to 1 million by my birthday in February. Send it, Jennifer, fellow Aquarius. My birthday is February 11th. I share with my daughter, so I hope you're right. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's kick it with our next story. We discussed the ETF report. Now let's discuss 30 trillion incoming. According to this top analyst from asset management firm Grayscale. We're talking about Michael Sonnenschein, who was recently interviewed and discusses how the ETF approval will usher in $30 trillion into the market. So as preparations for the spot Bitcoin ETF continue, executives from across the crypto community share their opinions on how the new investment vehicle for crypto can affect the overall markets. In a new CNBC interview, the Grayscale CEO, Mr. Sonnenschein, expressed his belief that there is a lot of optimism in the Bitcoin market again, and that many investors are adding Bitcoin to their portfolios. The executive also said he's looking forward to the event of spot Bitcoin ETFs to unlock Bitcoin exposure to a part of the investment community that has not yet had the chance to invest into BTC. Quoting Sonnenschein here, "We are really talking about the advice market here in the US, which is today about $30 trillion worth of advised wealth." Now, we also did a live react session to this interview with Michael Sonnenschein over on Rumble. I think it was a couple of days ago. If you missed it, you can always check it out later. Now, Grayscale is one of the front runners gunning for the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. On November 22nd, representatives from Grayscale met with the Trading and Markets Division of the US SEC, and they just met again, I think yesterday, because I just saw breaking news that they met again, just FYI, regarding converting their GBTC product, which is the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world, with currently over 620,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and they're looking to convert that into a spot ETF, and it seems like they're going to get the approval. Now, apart from the funds flowing into Bitcoin, we also have Samson Mow, who predicts that the ETF can propel Bitcoin to a 1 million price action in 2024. He believes that the ETFs can help in the branding and marketing aspect of Bitcoin, and in fact, I'm actually going to be reading everything revolving around Samson Mow's $1 million price prediction, including this brand new thread he just shared on X, but we're going to save that to the end of the show. So, you know what I mean? Now, MicroStrategy's co-founder Michael Saylor said that the Bitcoin ETFs would be the most significant development in Wall Street in 30 years. Saylor explained that the ETFs will be a catalyst that drive demand into Bitcoin. The executive believes it will open the door for mainstream retail as well as institutional investors to gain exposure to the king crypto. While some may anticipate that the price of Bitcoin will soar, others think the price won't double overnight, even with the ETF approvals. Quoting Anthony Pompliano here, "More than 90% of the Bitcoin is already in circulation. 70% plus is held by people who refuse to sell. Where my long-term hodlers at? Now, tens of billions of dollars of demand are on the way with the spot ETF. You learn what happens next when your economics 101 professor taught you supply and demand. Wild." Now, meanwhile, we have Bitcoiner Oliver Velez compared buying Bitcoin ETFs to buying real Bitcoin. And according to Velez, buying the spot Bitcoin ETF is like buying paper Bitcoin with a cost charged yearly, while buying the real Bitcoin is a once-in-a-lifetime cost. The Bitcoin supporter said that the real Bitcoiners will only deal with real Bitcoin and no custody costs. And I'm glad he actually mentioned that, because that's right. Even Michael Saylor says you're going to pay roughly 1% per year when you have an ETF manager manage your Bitcoin. So over the course of a lifetime, that can be an easy 20% over the course of 20 years. So yeah, you got to keep that in mind. So for plebs like you and I, it's in our best interest, I truly do believe that, to just learn how to self-custody your own crypto versus paying somebody 1% per year to do it for you. Also, you got to consider all the risks involved with somebody holding your crypto. So keep that in mind, family. Now let's read some more comments. Fiat lost another one. I am free. Right on Matrix. I love to hear that. Screw fiat. And if you have, if you're banking with JP Morgan Chase, you know, Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon, that CEO, the billionaire guy who's a fraudster and a huckster, if you're able to borrow money from the bank and use OPM, which is other people's money, aka Jamie Dimon's bank's money, to buy Bitcoin, I think that'd be a smart move. It's a smart move according to Michael Saylor. Now, when I got into Bitcoin in 2017, that's precisely what I did. I was banking at Wells Fargo, and I said, how much money will they let me borrow? I'm gonna buy as much Bitcoin as they allow. And I just borrowed as much money as I could. I didn't tell them what I was doing because I know banks are like anti-Bitcoin, especially back then. But I borrowed all the money I could and I purchased all the Bitcoin I could. And it was my best move I've ever made. And I know Michael Saylor talks about borrowing $1 billion at effectively 0% interest and buying as much Bitcoin as he can. So I think we're on the same page there. So if you have the opportunity to borrow money, granted, you can pay back the loan. That's the key. Don't ruin your credit in the process. But if you're in a position, you got money coming in, you can pay back the debt, borrow as much money you can, buy some Bitcoin, sit on those biddies, and in the next 4-10 years, you're going to be set. You know what I mean? Shout out to Punchy Coffee, just gifted 10 memberships of the channel for the MicroStrategy level, which is a level up above the HODL gang. So everyone that just got blessed includes David Plugs, congratulations. Welcome to MicroStrategy. Rudy Poo, congrats. You've just been blessed with a membership of the channel. Matthew J, congratulations, fam. Duffy Newman, you have been blessed. Egg and Chips, you have been blessed. Boz Dragon, you have been blessed. Brian Bowden, you have been blessed. GT, you have been blessed. And Simon, you have been blessed. So everyone thank Punchy Coffee for the free MicroStrategy paid membership of the channel. Now all of you are going to have that cool icon next to your name and get priority shout outs and commenting in the live chat. So much love, much respect. We appreciate all the kindness. We just launched memberships a couple of weeks ago. We probably have now close to 300 paid members, and over 200 of them were gifted by kind individuals like Punchy, Casey. You know what I mean? There's so many of you. Zero's probably gifted over 50 memberships by himself. So I can't thank you guys enough. Merry Christmas, Barack. Thank you for gifting memberships as well. And the rest of you, it really humbles my heart. Appreciate that. Celebrate boxing, Max versus Jamie Dimon. Remember that one? Classic. I want one, says Jesse Uro. Well, it pays to be active in the chat because you guys get hooked up all the time. That's right. Lots of hearts, lots of love. We appreciate it. Smash the likes for the most given channel in the space. And congratulations, Brian Bowden. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel as well. Long live the legends. You're damn right. Dirty Bird, welcome family, and everyone just joining us. That's so real. Let's go. Shout out to OG. What it do? Bitwise just dropped another commercial. Oh, snap. Yes. The most interesting man. Oh, I can't wait to see the new one. Satoshi sends his regards. Let's freaking go. Another great omen and another great sign of the times. And welcome, Simon, for also becoming a member. We appreciate you supporting the channel. It means the world to me. So thank you, family. And without further ado, let's discuss the latest from the Giga Chat himself. Michael Saylor and his predictions. He was just recently on the news as well. Iskender, I appreciate you becoming a paid member of the channel as well and supporting us. Thank you so much, family. Here's the latest from the Giga Chat. Michael Saylor saying that the spot Bitcoin ETF is the biggest Wall Street development in 30 freaking years. Let's go. The spot Bitcoin ETF approval could be the biggest development on Wall Street since the early 90s. According to Giga Chad, Michael Saylor, quoting him here, it's not unreasonable to suggest this may be the biggest development on Wall Street in 30 years. He shared on an interview with Bloomberg. The last thing that was this consequential was the creation of the S&P index and the ability to invest in all 500 S&P companies via one trade at the same time. And he actually shares that here alongside his interview. And a little later, when we do the uncensored version on Rumble of the show at the end, we're going to actually be doing a reacts to his most recent interview on the mainstream, and we'll listen to the Giga Chad directly from himself. But anyways, Saylor explained the spot Bitcoin ETF would open the door to the mainstream retail and the institutional investors that previously hadn't been able to access the high bandwidth compliant channel to invest into Bitcoin. This ETF would be a major catalyst driving the demand, followed by a supply shock in April when the Bitcoin halving event takes place, according to Saylor, quoting him here. I don't think we have ever seen a 2 to 10x increase in demand combined with a halving in supply and a scarce, desirable asset that people want to hold for a long period of time. That's right. These are unprecedented times. So I think we're expecting 2024 is going to be a major bull run for the asset class. Preach. Saylor confirmed that MicroStrategy, his business intelligence firm and Bitcoin holding company, will continue its Bitcoin investment strategy for the foreseeable future. Quoting him again, our goal is to always find a way to pursue more Bitcoin per share per our shareholders, whether that be through debt, equity, or cash flows from the business. MicroStrategy has provided traditional investors with exposure to Bitcoin price since it first started buying it back in 2020. In fact, they were the first publicly traded company to do so. Quoting him again, we provide investors with leverage and we don't charge a fee. So we offer sort of a high performance vehicle for people that are Bitcoin long investors. That's right. So for those of you looking to invest into the ETF, you could actually invest directly into the publicly traded MicroStrategy stock, and you could avoid paying those 1% annual fees, just FYI. Now, Saylor's MicroStrategy now owns a whopping 174,530 BTC with an average purchase price of $30,000, meaning they're killing it right now, up $2.1 billion. Let's go. Their total position is worth 7.3 with 2.1 billion being in profit. profit in the green. Now, from Bitcoin skeptic to Maxi, Saylor's infamous tweet turns 10 years old. Oh my God. This is Michael Saylor's tweet from December 18th, 2013, back when he was anti-Bitcoin. So it just goes to show you, everyone pays for Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Imagine if you would have saw the writing on the wall back then, how much Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, and Saylor would have today, probably millions upon millions. So yeah, here's what he tweeted back on December 18, 2013. Bitcoin's days are numbered. It seems like just a matter of time before it suffers the same fate as online gambling. Oh my God. So even smart geniuses such as Saylor can be wrong about Bitcoin, but smart enough to recognize he made a mistake and be willing to admit that. That takes kahunas, something Peter Schiff hasn't been able to do, since the inception of Bitcoin. But obviously that tweet didn't age well, and it may be worth noting that online gambling hasn't died either. It's still stronger than ever, family. In fact, anytime I watch the UFC, this is brought to you by, so you already know, which currently totes a total market size of $63 billion per Business Wire data. And around 2020, Saylor revised his initial position. He also previously said he studied Bitcoin for thousands of hours before convincing MicroStrategy's board to add Bitcoin to the firm's balance sheet. Bitcoin price was $677 December 19th, 2013, precisely freaking 10 years ago, 10 years in one day. Ain't that wild, family? According to CoinGecko, meaning the Bitcoin price increased nearly 18-fold before MicroStrategy bought its first batch on August 11 of 2020 at approximately $11,650. Better late than never, you know what I mean? Now, others such as on-chain analyst Dylan LeClaire praised Saylor for having a second look at Bitcoin. He wrote the following: "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." Amen. So shout out to Saylor and shout out to Dylan LeClaire. Now, Michael Saylor, who was recently interviewed by CNBC, I recently transcribed what he shared, and this is pretty short and sweet, so I want to read this to you. Here's what he wrote. "There's a lot of uncertainty around the rest of the crypto ecosystem, but the one certain element of the ecosystem is Bitcoin is universally acclaimed to be a global commodity or an asset without an issuer. So the one thing we can count on is Bitcoin goes forward in the year 2024, and a strategy built around Bitcoin is generally a pretty safe one for institutions. We welcome fair value accounting. It is going to create much more transparency and clarity in profit and losses and balance sheets for any companies that are holding Bitcoin. I think the real significance is that there are companies like Berkshire Hathaway and Apple Computer that have $100 billion plus in cash right now, and they have to invest it in treasuries and sovereign debt. And with this change in fair value accounting, you're going to have a commodity that's valued as fair value, and it becomes a legitimate treasury reserve asset for publicly traded companies. We are going through a digital transformation of everything. Apple represents the digital transformation of telephones and cameras, and Google's the transformation of books and libraries. Bitcoin represents the digital transformation of capital. 99.9% of the capital of the world is tied up in real estate and stocks and precious metals and bonds, and so we're 0.1% transformed. People, as they get educated on digital assets, they're realizing that they ought to be allocating more and more of their capital to this digital asset. So they're moving from 0.1% to 2%. So I think that's really driving the trend. I've said it before, if Bitcoin is not going to zero, it's going to $1 million per coin. The real question is it a legitimate asset? And if it's a legitimate institutional asset, everybody is under allocated to it. Amen. Now, education makes a difference. Institutional adoption makes a difference. The spot ETF news is good news. Loosening of monetary policy is good news. Inflation anywhere in the world drives Bitcoin adoption. And of course, the halving is going to cut the available supply of Bitcoins for sale in half from the miners. So we've got a confluence of very bullish milestones over the next 6 months. And so I think the smart money is investing into it, that ahead of it. Now, people focus upon mining pools, but the actual mining is taking place in Bhutan, Argentina, South America, Texas, Europe, Iceland, Africa, everywhere in the world. So the miners themselves are very decentralized. They'll remain decentralized because they're chasing after power that's effectively marginally free, and the pools they will accumulate hash rate from time to time, but they don't really have the power. The power is sitting next to a geothermal or a hydroelectric project somewhere in the world. So there you have it, my fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the sentiment from the Giga Chad, Michael Saylor. I'm going to read some more comments out loud, sip on some more kombucha, and we'll be diving into our feature story of the day here shortly, so don't go nowhere. And welcome everyone just joining the stream. I appreciate you supporting the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's freaking go. Love this stuff. And yesterday I shared a supplement and I got some questions about it again. For anyone experiencing headaches, first and foremost, you should probably be drinking more water. Typically a headache, 90% of the time, is dehydration. So drink lots of water. And here's a supplement you should take every day. Check with your doctor. I'm not like a doctor or a physician, but it's something I started taking. And since taking it, I've never received a headache. And the couple of times I did get a headache, I just took another one under my tongue and within minutes it goes away. It's called Bioplasma 12-in-1 Cell Salt. This is a little life hack for you. Check it out. If you get headaches or migraines and you don't know how to get rid of them, you're probably lacking some nutritional supplement, and this can help fix that. So just FYI. So there we go. You're new here, Joe. Welcome, Joe. Mike says you'll pay about 30% capital gains tax on that milli, though. Not if you relocate to El Salvador, Bitcoin City. Not if you relocate to Puerto freaking Rico. You know what I mean? Look into that. What up, Howard? Appreciate you subbing to the pod family. I like the 5 to 10% trading, 85-95% long-term hodl bag idea, says Matthew. Right on. No extradition treaty either, says relaxing. My wife needs that supplement. Thanks, JV. You're very welcome, Will. Enjoy it. We heard, what's his name? Grant Cardone, he did like a mastermind and he highly recommended this. And my buddy attended that mastermind and shared that with me. And I've been on this supplement for a few months and I'm so glad because I used to get migraines, even sometimes with drinking a lot of water. And the only way to get rid of it was to go to sleep. So now if I feel something's about to kick in, I just put that under my tongue. Bada boom, bada bing. You know what I mean? Izzy, welcome. Just orange pilled my boss and bought a whole Bitcoin. Congratulations, fam, to the moon. Honeymooners, let's go. I'm debating borrowing against my 401k. Any thoughts? That's a big decision. You got to decide with you and your family. I'm all in on Bitcoin. So if you ask me what I would do, yes, I would take everything of value and put it into Bitcoin. If I had the option to do so, because that's precisely what I have done, you know what I mean, since back in 2017. And any opportunity I had to get more Bitcoin, I get more Bitcoin. After the 2020 COVID crash, remember Bitcoin dropped from 8,000 or 9,000 down to the 3,000, 4,000 range. I doubled down, got more Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Do everything in your power to get more Bitcoin because it's going to be harder and harder to get Bitcoin as the years go on, guaranteed, right? Because it'll be more valuable, so you're not going to be able to buy as much. So take advantage of this window while it's still open, family. Lotus handstand. You already know, Richard. You already know. I'm actually kind of sitting in a lotus right now. To my whole bottom of my body goes numb. I love sitting in a lotus. Hey, late again. Sadly here for the important news at least. Keep up the great work, JV. Better late than never. We didn't even tap into our feature story of the day because we have so much bullishness to share with you. I liquidated 401k and IRA into Bitcoin. Smart man, Robert. JV, do you think MicroStrategy will outperform Bitcoin? It seems to have outperformed it this year. I can't speak for the future. I'm not a stock guy either, so I really don't know. But personally, I don't own any MicroStrategy stock. I'm all in on Bitcoin. Not too many of us are whole coiners left. Right on. I borrowed against my 401k in 2017. Best thing ever did. Right on, Andy. We're in the same ballpark. I mean, I just took the bank's money and bought all I could. I wish in 2012, when I heard the word Bitcoin, I looked into it because I didn't know. It was really until 1.5 years ago, 33,000 on the way down. All good, squirrel bait. I think we all have a very similar story. We wish we got in earlier, but the good news, we're in now, right? And we all got the front run, BlackRock and all the major institutions. So, hey, it is what it is. But anyways, family, now let's dive into our featured story of the day. Samson Mow is predicting a $1 million Bitcoin price in 2024. And that could be right around the corner because ETF approval, they say 90% probability of getting approved by the SEC between January 5th and the 10th. That's only 3 weeks away. Samson Mow says Bitcoin can climb and soar to as much as $1 million per coin in a matter of days or weeks after the approval of the ETF. So here's the latest from Samson Mow. The headline reads, Bitcoin proponent Samson Mow on why Bitcoin at $1 million is still at play. Another headline, BlackRock ETF, torn of money, raises $1 million Bitcoin price target. But I want to start with his tweets. He recently shared the real rally is when we go to $1 million, and that is when the spot ETFs are approved and we have tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin in a very short time frame. I'm talking about weeks or days. So that is the real rally. How many of you are pretty fired up for the real rally? Let me know in that chat. He also recently tweeted, $1 million Bitcoin is just 10 Omega candles away. That's right. So let's freaking go. You guys forget how simple it is to achieve $1 million from a, say, 50,000 Bitcoin price action. I think if you take 50,000 times 20, a simple 20x, which is 10x times 2, we're $1 million, fam. Let that sink in. Now, he also wrote Bitcoin at $1 million. Doesn't sound so crazy anymore, does it? And we'll be discussing why it doesn't sound crazy here in a minute. It has come to my attention there are some Bitcoiners that don't think Bitcoin can reach $1 million per coin in a matter of days or weeks after the ETF money starts to flow in. They're in for a pleasant surprise. He also says in 2017, it only took 9 months for Bitcoin to go from $1,000 to $20,000. Facts. The block subsidy was 12.5. There was a lot more Bitcoin sloshing around on the exchanges. Mining was boiling the oceans, and there was zero institutional money coming in. So 1,000 to 20,000, 20x. 50,000 to $1 million is simply just another 20x. So what if we get a repeat cycle like we witnessed from the 2016 halving to 2017? That can take us to $1 million. So again, let that sink in. He also says the ETF approvals will unlock a tidal wave of capital influx into Bitcoin. Pair that with the multiplier effect, and you get $1 million BTC. Now here's a throwback. He actually shared back on December of 2021. Approval of the spot ETF would send Bitcoin to $1 million per coin over a few days. Gary Gensler, aka No Hair Gare, and the SEC don't want to be the ones responsible for sending Bitcoin to the moon. And this was on the back of Congressman Tom Emmer tagging Gary Gensler December 3rd of 2021. Gary Gensler, Mr. No Hair Gare. I am still waiting on your response to our November 3rd letter asking you to make sense of why Bitcoin future ETFs are allowed to trade, but not Bitcoin spot ETFs. And that's a great question. Why do they allow futures, but not allow spot? That's a brilliant question. I think everyone should tag No Hair Gare. You know what I mean? And John Deaton is like, chiming in here, Preston Pish, because Goldman Gary needs to let his boys manipulate those cash settled derivatives as long as he can. And I'm going to read that out loud again. This was back from 2021 because that's precisely what No Hair Gare has been doing. Goldman Gary needs to let his boys, aka Larry Fink, Abigail Johnson, the CEOs of BlackRock, Fidelity, etc., manipulate those cash settled derivatives as long as he can. They cannot manipulate true price discovery in a spot Bitcoin ETF market. That, my friend, is the difference. Samson also recently shared, we will see a seismic shift to Bitcoin and sound money. The next 5 years will be incredible. We have Guatemala 2023, Argentina 2023, Bitcoin halving 4 months out, April of 2024. El Salvador, we know already adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. They're likely to get Bukele president again for the next 4 years. Panama 2024, Mexico 2024, Canada 2025, he says could be 2024, Peru 2026, and Nicaragua 2026. And also, he recently met with the president of Colombia discussing adoption there. We have the country of Suriname just north of Brazil discussing adoption there. So there are many candidates for countries, nation states, to adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender here in the short future. Now, Samson Mow shared this thread just recently. This was yesterday. It already got 200,000 views. I want to read it to you. The Bitcoin ETF is the memo. Most people don't understand how significant the ETFs are in terms of marketing and branding. They will bring a flood of capital, but equally important is the message or the memo that's being sent out. Amen. So take note, there are 12 ETFs being listed or filed by asset managers. First, they're in it for the money, not necessarily because they believe in Bitcoin, so don't simp for them. They get money, they need assets under management. So everyone wants to be number one. This is a competition. Second, they aren't going to passively sit there and hope to win. No, they'll be fighting for assets under management and customers. How do companies fight? They advertise and market. Case in point, the Bitwise ad, which just went live. This battle for the Bitcoin orange glow is going to heat up like you can't imagine. Think Jonathan Goldsmith is interesting. Wait until BlackRock makes an ad with, I don't know who that is, Novak Djokovic, I guess probably a big athlete, saying Bitcoin is for winners. And then your Prince Philip says hi, by the way. And we know Prince Philip is bullish on Bitcoin as well. I think he's from Serbia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or the Fidelity Super Bowl ad with Saylor saying there is no second best ETF. Oh, I can't wait for that one. it's going to be lit. So what about the memo you mentioned, Samson? Well, if you're an actor or an influencer of any significance, you can no longer afford to speak ill of Bitcoin. There's too much career risk now. Talk ish about Bitcoin and you're blacklisted forever. Just like, what's his name? Right here. Jimmy Wales takes notes. Who else can we throw in that list? Peter Schiff. Who else can we add? Let me know. And he continues, another memo goes to media platforms. You want our advertising dollars, you better not be pushing content that harms our Bitcoin offering. And at the end of the day, it's all business. Now it's business in favor of Bitcoin. And the memo goes to journalists too. No more garbage takes on Bitcoin like this, or you're also going to be looking for work elsewhere. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Preach. So expect less and less FUD from the mainstream. The Bitcoin ETF is the memo. Bitcoin is great. Bitcoin is green. We all love Bitcoin. Get with the program or else. Preach. So then he continues, Bitcoin at $1 million doesn't sound so crazy anymore, does it? What are your thoughts surrounding what Samson Mow just shared here? Please do let me know. And I want to read some of this article as well, which was just published yesterday, the 19th. Samson Mow, the CEO and co-founder of Jan3, the revolutionary blockchain tech company, is convinced that Bitcoin is on its way to tapping $1 million per coin. Mow also describes himself as a Bitcoin bonds architect, maintaining that Balaji, a popular Bitcoin supporter who predicted the Bitcoin would hit the same price point of $1 million earlier in the year, was spot on with his forecast, but he had the wrong timing. He seems to disagree with him on the length of time it would take for the Bitcoin bulls to gain enough momentum to bring the price prediction to reality. He shared, Balaji wasn't wrong about Bitcoin going to $1 million, but he was wrong on the timing and the catalyst. My $1 million call is based on a massive rapid influx of institutional capital, while Bitcoin available for sale hits historical lows, compounded by the halving. He wrote on a post, pro-Bitcoiners have historically remained loyal to Bitcoin's potential, and as such, price predictions from these figures are usually as bullish as they come. While some market players choose to play it safe and make modest predictions, Bitcoin supporters are often seen making bold long-term forecasts. Now, Balaji, he was also the chief technology officer of Coinbase a few years back, so he has a lot of credibility. He's an Indian-American entrepreneur, investor, and former chief technology officer of Coinbase, as I mentioned. In one example, back in March, remember he made that call. He bet that Bitcoin would hit $1 million within 90 days, and he actually bet $1 million on that, which is pretty wild. That was off the back of the regional banking crisis where Bitcoin started to soar. He made the bet of 1 Bitcoin and 1 million in USD coin with James Medlock, who initially tweeted that he'd bet anyone 1 million that the U.S. wouldn't enter hyperinflation. Now, should the Bitcoin price fail to tap that $1 million on the June of 17th, Medlock would win the bet, and 7 months later, Srini lost the bet as Bitcoin failed to meet those expectations. And insisting that Bitcoin will take a different pathway from its current position to $1 million, here's what Samson had to share. Balaji's 1 million prediction was predicated on money printing and banks failing. Those two things could potentially be a driver for a rapid run to $1 million, but not likely. The money printing already happened and then it dried up. It will take a few more years for the market to adjust accordingly. Now, should traditional banks fail, pro-bankers will find a safer bank, as they are yet to realize that banks are not as safe as Bitcoin, which is their only option, he concluded. So there you have it, my crypto fam. What are your thoughts on Samson Mow's $1 million Bitcoin price prediction for next year, 2024? And how lit would that be to see a $1 million Bitcoin price in the year 2024. Let me know your thoughts, fam, and I'm going to read as many comments as I can out loud as we enter our Q&A. And that's right, Bitcoin is the flight to quality. It's a flight to safety and all of the above. As Lawrence Fink, aka Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, pointed out on live television a few weeks or a couple of months back. Now, Steve, what it do, family? I want to know how to bet 1 million, right? Don't you wish you guys could have bet $1 million? $1 million in Bitcoin and just make a bet on social media and crush it. That'd be pretty lit as well. So yeah, let me see. The chat's not moving. I think there's a glitch here. So give me a second to see if I could fix it. Oops, didn't mean to click that. I don't know what I just did. But there, the chat's moving again, so that's good. I'm buying another 0.1 BTC today. Congratulations, James Elsey. Get it done and let us know. That's awesome to hear. Music to my ears, family. Stack as many biddies as you possibly can. You know what I mean? Brian says, what's your best guess on when the ETF will be approved? Well, the ETF analysts who know more than I, they're saying 90% chance between January 5th and the 10th. I still like to be prepared for all scenarios. So in the back of my mind, I'm like second guessing it. And I'm like, what if Gary Gensler, aka No Hair Gare, comes up with a new loophole to prevent it from being approved in January, giving his homies on Wall Street a little extra time to stack and seed their ETFs. Then the next logical target would be March, but I'm still optimistic. I would say 60% probability of approval in January, 40% some alternative scenario occurs and they continue kicking the can down the road. So I'm not as solid. I'm not like, yo, it's a done deal like a lot of these analysts are saying. I give it a 60-40. What do you guys think? Pump party tonight, it looks that way. If we maintain above 44, right now we're 43.6. If we get right back above 44 this evening, we'll do a pump party. Why not? Midnight stream, 12 hours, gonna be lit. We'll celebrate, we'll party, we'll drink some kombucha together, and it'll be lit. It's gonna be the third test. They say thirds times the charm, so we shall soon see. What happens if the ETFs are approved near the halving? Hey, keep this in mind. Even hypothetically, worst case scenario, we didn't even get an ETF approval next year, which we know that's unlikely to happen. We're gonna get the approval sometime next year. But let's just say hypothetically we didn't. Bitcoin's still gonna hit all-time highs and surpass $100,000 this cycle, right? The ETF is just the icing on the cake. It adds fuel to the fire, right? That's gonna take us to multiple six figures for the cycle peak versus just 100, 150,000 price action. With the ETF, I can see us doing 250, 300, potentially 400, 500,000, depending upon if it's a super cycle and so many unknown factors. 99% approval, 99% of the folks, not in Bitcoin, right, Armando? If it hits a milli, the next target, 500 milli, then a billy. Let's go. We might have to get a new puppy and name them Billy or Biddy. Stack those biddies. Moonwalk. We'll all be doing the moonwalk at the fiesta. I'm guessing 90% for all the spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved by or before January 10th. I hope you're right. I'm praying we get the approval. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to be surprised or shocked if we don't. They've been pushing this back for 10 years, for Christ's sake. So please, JV, stop. I'm getting way too excited about what you're saying. Good, Jesse. That means I'm doing my damn job. I'm selling at 1 milli. Why? Why would you want to sell at that price for fiat? What's the purpose? You'll be able to borrow. By the time Bitcoin hits a million, trust, you're going to be able to borrow against it at any of your local banks. They will have products in line for you to do so because Bitcoin is pristine collateral. There is no better perfect form of collateral than Bitcoin. And the banks know this. So it's only a matter of time. They just need the ETF approval. Then it gets recognized officially as an asset class. Game on. Everything's coming down the pipeline. Mark my words. It is a super cycle. With the catalysts that are in play, we're going to the moon, says Jennifer. It does seem to be that way. Don't let the ETF pending approval stop you from buying. Exactly. Exactly. 1 million has the magical symmetry to make one Satoshi, 1 penny. Send it. 1 biddy, baby. Why would you sell for something that steals from you? Amen. Well said. Agreed. Super cycle. Let's go. Thinking of making a withdrawal out of my 40,000 in the next few days, says Crypto Surge. Fiat is time theft. Come on. How does the kombucha taste? This flavor is delicious. You get it at Costco. It's mango passion fruit, and I like it because usually kombucha is very high in sugar. This one is very low in sugar. There's only 9 grams with 0 extra grams added, and they advertise that on the bottle. So you get all the probiotics, you know what I mean? And you get the low sugar, tastes great. I don't know why they put so much sugar in all the other brands, but once I found this, I'm like, now I can drink it and not feel bad because I don't like drinking all this sugar in all the other brands. You know what I mean? Let's go. Having rate cuts, money printing, ETF go through. What a year. Yeah, I mean, 2024 is going to be lit, family. I've been waiting for this year. It feels like my entire life. It's time. You've made it. Congratulations if you're here right now. It's going to be incredible. Mark my words. And if this is your first halving, you'll never be the same man or woman again. Trust. Loan your Bitcoin for payments in the future. Precisely what Michael Saylor says. I hope this 10,000 Cardano I'm holding makes me some money. I hope so too, family. Hopefully you're holding some Bitcoin as well there and not just all in on Cardano. What about direct deposit from my work? I need a bank. Well, yeah, that's maybe why you need a bank. Eventually you'll just get paid in Bitcoin and you'll say, screw the bank. You know what I mean? When I relocated to Puerto Rico, I closed out all my Florida banks and I donated all of my fiat to charities. And I closed down all my banks, the Wells Fargo, the, what was the other one? I don't remember the name, but it was a credit union. I closed them all out, donated all of my fiat to charity. I did have to open up a bank here for my Act 60. You know what I mean? Because I run a business, I'm an entrepreneur. It requires me to have a bank, but I try to operate in as little with banks and fiat capital as possible. I keep just enough fiat really to pay the bills. I need a giga candle. Send it, Baxter. Don't forget the presidential cycle. Oh, that's right. 2024 election, family. You see they're already doing Trump dirty. The Colorado thing. Be your own bank, Bitcoin. Amen. You got a Swiss bank account in your pocket. It doesn't get no sexier than that. Great job. Congrats. Cheers, Maria. Be your own bank. Amen. I totally want to leave Canada and go where? Let me know. Come to Puerto Rico. Come visit, at least for the fiesta. It's going to be lit. How many of you guys are going to be here with us? And here's how it's going to play out. Once we get around 69,000, we'll start plotting the date for the party because I have a feeling it's not going to be long when we hit 70,000 to 100. It could happen in a matter of days. So we'll start plotting the date of the party when we start getting close to the all-time highs. And make sure you're in the Discord. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. I have a channel dedicated to the fiesta, which is called the $100,000 Fiesta. Charity for people that need it, able to work around tax, help people directly. That's right. I also donate every year. In fact, it's that time of the year where I got to make my donations. So I actually like donating. One of these charities I'm looking into is for children with Down syndrome. I think the name is Lily's Angels. They're here in Puerto Rico. You streaming during Xmas? That's an excellent question. Christmas Eve, I'm going to be streaming early because I have my daughter. I pick her up in the late afternoon. So we're going to do an early show for Christmas Eve. It'll probably be 11 a.m. Eastern. For Christmas Day, I don't want to work when I'm with my daughter celebrating Christmas. However, after I drop her off with her mother in the evening, I'm planning on doing a late night show. So we're going to have special time for Christmas and Christmas Eve. Just FYI. So more than likely, the Christmas show will probably be like, I'm guessing 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern. And the Christmas Eve show, I'm guessing, is going to be 11 a.m. Eastern. I don't know for sure because there's some variables, but I'm definitely planning to deliver the news on those days because I want to celebrate with the fam. I consider you guys my extended fam. So 100%. Feliz Navidad. Bless you as well, Boz. I appreciate that. I meant 401k. I was driving. Oh, I understand, family. I figured that's what you meant. Not sure about all the hurricanes. Where are you referring to here? Don't be scared of the hurricanes. I sold my house, now looking into Puerto Rico. Oh, word, Raven. 100k fiesta or not. Here's theirs. Yes, that's awesome. Feel free to reach out to me. DM me on X or Discord if I can assist you in any way with anything regarding Puerto Rico, as I've been here for 6 years now, so I have a lot of resources. I could help you. You know what I mean? Glad to help. Miami Beach has hurricanes. Well, yeah, Florida's notorious for hurricanes. Anywhere near the water, really. Is the party wheelchair accessible? Yeah, why not? I don't see why not. Are you in a wheelchair, family? Yeah, you should be able to. As long as you can get a wheelchair on the plane, you should be able to get a wheelchair anywhere we choose the location. Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for everything, JB. I appreciate you. You're welcome, Jesse. Appreciate you too, fam. Puerto Rico, let's go. What up, Bills? Thank you for your hard work, brother. Never get to catch the live. Well, you caught it today, so I appreciate that, fam. I'm going to do a great loop with my boat and might swing through there. Oh, for real, Phil? That'd be pretty lit. OMG, I took care of my little brother with Down syndrome for 7 years. Wow, I used all my retirement savings to do so. He was an Aquarius. A hoot and a handful. I'll step up to the plate again. Thank you. Thank you, family. I appreciate your support. Let's freaking go. Bitcoin equals freedom. What business do you have? Well, I'm a full-time podcaster, family. I'm here every freaking day. I work my ass off. So I have a business. You know what I mean? I would say media company, full-time podcaster. I do podcasts multiple per day. We do pump watches now. So yeah, JV got a media company. Crypto News Alerts for the win. The #1 daily Bitcoin pod. You rock, JV. Bitcoin Fiesta. Family in Puerto Rico. Oh, that's what's up. Love to visit someday. Well, look forward to seeing you at the Fiesta, Abel. Greatly appreciate that. What's the Discord? Note all the resources to where you can connect with me are always in the description, but the direct link, it's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Appreciate that. Welcome, Brian. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate your family. Boricua. That's right, Anthony. Yeah, I'd start at Pittsburgh, government, down the Mississippi to the Gulf, right on. The whole East Coast and through the 5 Great Lakes. Wow. What kind of boat you got there, family? How big is it? We getting lit. You already know, Casey. Game on. Countless hours of research to be presented in a digestible format for the fam. You got that right, Jesse. Typically, each show is about 3 to 4 hours of preparation. Before I was doing a live, it was like all day. So I'm very glad we do a live because I don't have to edit the show after. Editing would take hours. It was dreadful. Thank you. Do a great job. Thank you to Baby Jay. Appreciate you. Lit Labs, let's go. Best channel ever. Thank you, Jay Bella. Appreciate the likes, appreciate the subs, appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. We're going to end the pod here on YouTube, and we're going to head on over to Rumble here in a bit. I just want to make sure we're live on Rumble because yesterday Rumble had some issues and we weren't able to stream. So let me check out Rumble before I switch over and make sure we're live right now and everything is smooth. Yeah, we are live on Rumble, so it's working. We're back on Rumble, family. My apologies for anyone who tried to visit on Rumble yesterday. You were unable to. There was something wrong with the stream. It wasn't making it possible to do so, but we're back. So what we're going to do now, the YouTube stream's going to end. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the show. I'm going to be doing a JV Reacts to the new Michael Saylor CNBC interview, and we're going to be having uncensored conversation. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure to go visit me on Rumble right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply open the Rumble app. Just type in Crypto News Alerts. You'll see the live stream. It's about to get lit. I appreciate everyone here on YouTube. Head on over to Rumble now, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let's get it. Much love, family. All right, YouTube, we out.